on TikTok, and welcome to me giving my initial thoughts on the 2XKO or 2 by KO. I don't know how they pronounce this. Um, what this is anyway. But yeah, here to give my opinion on the 2XKO or 2 by KO fighting game, which was under the original name of Project L as a working title. And basically, this is a fighting game featuring characters from League of Legends. And the beta was out today, and I'm pretty much had my fill of it. I mean, I've stated in the matches that you guys are going to see for the handful of matches that I played that I had no intention on playing this beyond the beta. Back in 2023, when this game was first announced, and they created an alpha and invited some known faces in the FGC for like a private testing of the game. I made a video stating that this was an effort to shill to promote the game, and considering that the game was in alpha, it's too soon to try to push the game the way that they was pushing it as if it was the greatest thing ever. Um, my experience was the game with the game is this is a learning curve. If you're a person that enjoys games like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, games like that, this game is going to be a learning curve because there are no traditional controls in this game. It's based around one button combos, and a button for your special moves and a direction, and that's how you perform them. Uh, to somebody who's used to playing like arena fighters and things like that, this is going to be right up your alley. It's a game that if you're familiar with traditional fighting game inputs, it's going to be something, unless you just sit down and just practice nonstop, this is going to be one hell of a learning curve for you. Um, and it's just one of those things where I, I've spoken against, one button combos being in fighting games. I've said it many times before, made videos on it. It's just not something that I myself see. I don't see myself playing this beyond this beta. I just can't. I noticed that during the game, it was a lot of one. You can tell it was a lot of one button combos going on, and that's always going to be an issue for me because there's no inputs. Like again, with me having muscle memory and experience and making doing directional inputs for special moves and things like that, it's like my brain and my muscle memory just can't wrap my head around one button doing everything for me. And that's kind of like something that I don't want to practice doing because I feel like it's going to take away from my experience with other fighting games. And then, maybe some people are able to do all that. They can play games like this and then go back to playing Street Fighter. I'm not one of those people. I'm just not. My brain isn't geared towards, doing one button press and that just being like the end all be all for a full combo. And with the amount of damage that those one button combos do, it's just like, come on, like you're dumbing down, what I'm saying, skill and experience for this. But fighting games are kind of heading in this direction, unfortunately. Where you know they're making fighting games for people that don't know how to play fighting games, and you're starting to see this more and more, even with franchises that's been around long before people started doing this. So it's like it's just not for me. It doesn't appeal. It doesn't appeal to me. Um, I just don't care for it. And that's just my opinion on it. If you like it, if I mean, I think there's a silver lining in this though. With me playing, MOBAs such as League of Legends, I, in a in many ways, it's cool to see them in an environment that I'm familiar with. You know, like for example, I'm used to seeing them in like a mobile environment because that's where they come from. They come from League of Legends, but to see them being recreated in this fighting game type of in this fighting game design, I think it's pretty cool in that element of it. So I do like that much about it, that it does give you a chance to experience these characters, especially if you're familiar with League of Legends, as I stated before. It's good to give you another way to play them outside of Summoner's Rift. So I mean, I don't like I said. I mean, I've said it already. I don't really see myself playing it beyond the beta. It's just not for me. It's not a game that I can look at and be like, oh, I can go back and play this. I just don't care for fighting games or wannabe fighting games that have one button combos. Because if you use them, then it's just like, you know what I mean? And then it's like, if you don't use them, it's almost like you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, which shouldn't be the case. You know, I would have thought that, you know, after this stuff happened in Street Fighter, which I uh, covered in a video, I think in like 2018, um, that Street Fighter was going to have one button combos soon, and the modern control thing happened. It's like if they're going to do this, and I haven't seen anything to see if they did this or not. I'm just uh, from what I can see, from what I can tell, I don't see where they did. But if they made it to where the one button combos, or as they call them, the pulse combos, if they made it to where those combos do less damage and the non, you know, I mean, the combos still, the inputs are like light attack, medium attack, heavy attack. And even if you turn the pulse combos off, it only does like light, medium, heavy, and then you have like the dash button, and then you have like the two special buttons. So it's still, you know, weird. But if they made it to where if you don't use pulse combos or the auto combos, you get more damage out of what you're doing, I think that'd be fair. Because I don't think nobody should be able to just do one button push. I mean, hell, Hunter x Hunter and then Impact is kind of going through that right now. That's why the player base of that tanked. And you know, one button combos damn near do fucking over half a health bar. So it's like, you know, now granted that much damage isn't happening in this game, but it's like the fact that you get as much damage as you're getting without consequence just by, you know, that's just crazy to me. I mean, it's like it's no effort for real. So, but I digress. It was cool while I played it, but outside of that, I just don't care to play it anymore. I mean, if you're one of those people that want to play it, hey, look, more power to you. But of course, the game is still going to be successful. You know, let's be honest. Riot is a company that has, I'm pretty sure, a pretty decent budget. Hell, they've been working on the game since 2023. I'm pretty sure that they're going to push the tournaments with this game to the moon, and especially the people that they had promoting the game 2 years ago, they're going to be involved in playing the game somewhat. Uh, the tournaments for the game are going to be well supported, I'm pretty sure, and I mean that's pretty much it. There really isn't any there really isn't anything more to say than that. You know, I think the game is going to do fine. You know, me and other people that think like me, like we're just a spoke on the wheel. There's more people out there that are going to play this who aren't familiar with fighting games than the people that are. So it is what it is. Like they're going to survive. And Yeah, so that's pretty much my opinion on 2K on 2XKO. Um, you know, like I said, it's nice seeing the League of Legends characters or the champions in an environment such as a fighting game, but because of the controls and everything like that, it's just not for me.